Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for guys. Today, guys, of course, we have The Flash tonight. This is Flash Season 7, Episode 4, Central City Strong. Now, as you can tell, I'm by myself, but off camera is the ghost. There's her hand. She's chilling in the chair, enjoying the chair.
Back to being the ghost.
Yeah, she's the ghost now. She's very tired today, so it's all good. So we wrapped up Season 6 within Season 7, which is kind of weird. The ending bit there with all the different force lightning colors going out, all the different lightning spewing out whenever Iris touched the energy source, essentially to restart the whole machine that creates the artificial speed force. We saw all those different force lightning colors, and I forget the name off the top of my head what it is, but basically from what I'm understanding is that it just didn't click, is that is the different type of like different force powers that are out there, because there's more than just the speed force. There's other types of force powers. So I'm guessing that got sent out to people throughout Central City and all that kind of stuff. I mean, literally the title Central City Strong, I believe one of them is super strength as a type of one of these forces. So I'm curious to see what they're going to be doing, because technically this is the premiere of Season 7, if you want to get technical, because those last 3 episodes, the first 3 episodes of Season 7, those last 3 episodes that we just had, we're all wrapping up Season 6. So technically, this is the Season 7 premiere. Not really, but you get my point. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do here. And are you excited to see what they do? Or are you just like, bleh, whatever, don't care?
I'm tired.
She's tired. So she might fall asleep. So
I'm excited.
We'll see what happens. Because, I mean, this is them starting up a new storyline. A new chapter, if you will. A new, I forget what he called it. Graphic novel, as it was phrased by the new showrunner when he started Season 6, that these were being divided up like graphic novels, where you have a certain storyline and then you continue on to something else within the season. Instead of the whole season being one story, we had it split up into 2, even though Season 6 didn't end up wrapping up their second half. So let's get into now. Let's see what they do with this new storyline starting off and see how they handle it. Let's go. Okay, all the different colors. Oh, Team Flash.
I let down this city by failing to prevent Mirror Monarch from tearing our community apart.
I feel like something's wrong. She's having headaches and she's not feeling well. I'm also thinking too, she took that Velocity X in episode 2 to run around this. I wonder if that has something.
You were in the Mirrorverse the longest and knew Eva the best.
Right about that. I mean, yeah, a lot of people are pulling the Mirrorverse. I forgot. Like, a lot of people are getting replaced, so. Oh.
I'm the greatest magician of all time.
What's his name?
Abracadabra.
I think that's his name. I think.
I'm not gonna let anything tear us down again.
I mean, it's Season 7. Something's gotta happen.
This is definitely a time traveler.
I mean, he is from the future.
Abracadabra's back.
How do I?
That other place.
They're really separated out.
Mirror version of me.
Were you abducted as well?
That's pretty crazy.
You know,
Should have ran away.
We could do really.
She needs to talk about this.
2 is always deadlier than 1. Yeah, those would be nanotech nullifying cuffs.
I'm about to say, why is he standing there?
This time. Hey, what's up with all? Oh shoot. What's that you were saying about the art of misdirection? Cadabra's caught. The job's finished. You really want to argue over who gets credit?
I don't think it's over.
trying to get rid of this stupid headache. But
Something's up with that, I'm telling you.
what's wrong with me?
So much. I'm kidding. You're fine. Every dark matter reading I'm seeing is complete. You still looking for the third one?
I think he wanted to get caught, maybe.
It's already done.
You mean leave right now?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Barry, are you okay?
Trying to make up for lost time.
My wife off her feet.
They spent many episodes last year, season not together.
So the more you try to escape, the tighter it gets. So please,
That's interesting.
you cannot defeat a man who has lost everything.
Okay.
He created an antimatter bomb.
That kind of power, it could
I was wondering what that was.
Born of the universe.
Wait, what? Are we about to have Crisis Part 2?
No, there's not enough antimatter energy for that. Thank the sequel gods, but the core is.
So there's no way to catch him until he stops moving and detonates the bomb.
I should have known Abracadabra was up to something when we caught him. So
I mean,
he
it was too easy.
And that kind of trauma that doesn't go away in a day or a week. You have to face it.
Giving yourself the advice you need to tell yourself.
But why?
So, Laurel Lance and Mia Queen. Okay, you know what? It's not important. The important thing is trying to pull a trick of your own. I wouldn't.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna fight you, but what's the thing?
This is your family from another timeline. Only they're gone
Okay.
now, aren't they? It led me to the Flash Museum. You're obsessed with the future, Flash. Erased from existence by what you did.
Not just him.
You were supposed to vanish in your crisis, Flash, not him. I lost someone too. He was like a brother to me. Ever since I've tried to honor his sacrifice. Killing me won't reset the timeline. That future
Exactly.
is gone.
It's gone, dude. It's gone. It's crying.
Calculation on the timeline yet where they return
Because they won't.
is to face your trauma.
Iris, yes.
His name was Oliver. My name's Philippe. We're mortal enemies in the future. Why are you doing this? So the next time we meet, maybe we won't be.
Oh. Uh-oh. And he's gone.
Philippe was trying to heal, just like the rest of us.
He died. I'm guessing.
This isn't right.
So what do we do now?
Same thing we always do.
Hide. Kevin.
The work stopped. Chester, if you're gonna be a part of Team Flash, then you have to stop beating me at Fortnite!
Wait, Fortnite. Oh my god.
Why?
How great is this?
There you guys have it, Season 7, Episode 4 of The Flash. Overall, pretty decent stuff there. I mean, some pretty, like, what the fuck is going on moments, but we have a couple things to talk about with this episode. So, the episode of the title of the episode, Central City Strong. They're really pushing that throughout the episode, rebuilding the city. Now, let's be honest. Central City has been through a lot over these years, and it's like now all of a sudden they're trying to push this narrative of Central City strong, and we're gonna rebuild, and we're seeing Team Flash out there, you know, helping to rebuild stuff. I like it, but I kind of wish maybe sooner in the show we would have done something like this, because Central City has been through a lot over the years, all these different villains and stuff, so I would have thought maybe this would have come into effect in some sort of capacity before, like it is up in the forefront, but that's just a minor thing there. Abracadabra is back. Now, he's a very interesting villain because he's from the future, and he's really way into the future, like way past anything we can really comprehend in terms of what's happening in his timeline. So he comes back, and he's an okay villain, but I think what they did with him in this episode, and it's unfortunate because R.I.P. He seems to be dead. I mean, it's just pretty obvious how everything went down and all that kind of stuff. But what a way to go. What a way to go, because this episode really got really personal with him, which I wasn't expecting, because before, when he showed up on the show, it's okay. It's definitely interesting because where he's from, the timeline, but it's not like a thing to where I'm like, holy crap, Abracadabra. 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 Blah, can't fucking talk. But it definitely was interesting. And he has antimatter, which they brought up Crisis Part 2, like, oh, thank God it's not the sequel, thank the sequel gods, it's not that. But he's going to blow up Central City. And then Barry, and this is something I got a little bit frustrated with, is that Barry realized what it was. And he said it twice. I know how to stop him. I know how to stop him. I'm like, okay, so you're going to wait until you actually confront him, and then you're going to tell the audience. I hate that trope where they say, like, I know how to stop this person. Then it goes to break or whatever. But instead of that, it was twice. Before we go to break, he says it to Iris, and then he says it again to Team Flash, and then it goes to break. I'm like, I got it. You know how to stop him. Get to it. But when they did, I was quite surprised because it was really emotional. He lost his family. He had a wife. He had a child. It was all erased because of Crisis. Shut up, computer. And what was really specific, too, was that he said, you were supposed to die, Flash. You were supposed to die, and you didn't. Because the other Flash, the 90s Flash, took his place. We had been hearing for so long that Barry Allen was going to be dying in Crisis. Well, I guess maybe Abracadabra's response there is indicating that maybe our Barry was supposed to die, and that 90s Barry Allen, the 90s Flash, John Wesley Shipp, made the decision to actually take his place instead. Or I don't know. Maybe Abracadabra, because I don't think, he didn't even calculate the possibility of them returning his family if he blows up Central City and kills the Flash. I haven't read the calculations. As he's crying, I'm like, I wasn't expecting crying, okay, but it's getting pretty emotional. It's getting like, I wasn't expecting this is the reason why he's doing this. But I don't think he was thinking that far, and maybe Barry being told he's supposed to die in Crisis and he was expecting it, he was never meant to die in Crisis. It was always going to be 90s Flash, so maybe that's the case there. But it was nice to hear that brought up. Name drop of Mia and Laurel in the episode, because apparently within this device Abracadabra had was a Martian Manhunter like type ring that Cisco had built essentially because to help people realize, their life has changed. Everything was because he was going around during Part 5 of Crisis, Martian Manhunter, and like helping people, like touching their heads to remind them, like, hey, this is a new timeline and everything. Like, you don't know what's going on, but now you do because Crisis happened, all that kind of stuff. It was a lot. So he had a ring. So he realized something was up with those memories or in nightmares and dreams or whatever, and he realized that they actually existed. So he wanted to make everybody feel the same way. And Barry's like, if they were to come back, how would they feel that you destroyed a whole entire city in their name? That's a very big question. Like, how are you going to answer that, Abra? How are you going to answer that? Like, how are you going to explain if your family came back that you lost because you destroyed Central City, you killed the Flash, you did all this damage? How would they feel if they found out the reason why they're back, the reason why they're alive is because you killed millions of people? Point. And then he dies trying to save Barry from a gigantic monster that everybody online is theorizing is the Strength Force, who has now absorbed, that individual has absorbed that antimatter bomb. Holy fuck. How are they going to stop that? Because they couldn't stop the antimatter bomb. Barry had to give a convincing speech to Abracadabra to stop him from using it. Now, the thing is I had to look this up, because see, I'm not too familiar with the other forces besides the Speed Force. As we saw the lightning bolts in the last episode, we saw blue, and that's the Sage Force, red is Strength, and green is Still Force. Now, we also saw the Speed Force being sent out there as well. We saw all 4 lightning, and then we saw it multiplying like crazy, and then it cut. In the episode, at the beginning, where Barry is like overly trying to spend time with Iris, it makes sense because he had spent so much time without her, and spent a good amount of time with fake Iris, mirror Iris. He wants to make it up, but as they're trying to go for another kiss after the earthquake shake, and I'm thinking that has something to do with the Strength Force now, based on the fact that there's more seismic activity, and all of a sudden this giant shows up. Okay, he absorbed an antimatter bomb, and he kills Abracadabra, and then he goes after Barry, and then he runs away. He jumps away. Okay, is that we saw in the distance, we saw all these different lightnings being striking down. So I'm not sure what that means. I'm surprised no one saw that, or Cisco didn't even pick that up. I don't know. But yeah, so I definitely think there's been multiple people who've been affected in different ways from these different force powers. So we saw somebody who's affected by strength. I'm assuming we'll see more about the Sage and Still, and I'm assuming Speed Force because that lightning went all out as well. So I feel like we've created a whole bunch of metas in different ways of the forces they have besides Speed Force, which is interesting because if Iris restarting that machine created the Speed Force to be sent out, that'd be interesting because it's Speed Force, and a lot of people have said over the years the Flash is better when it's a villain speedster. Well, we have more than just Speed Force in this whole situation. Real quick about Frost, Caitlin, this headache she's having. I was thinking, and it's probably in the reaction before the ghost fell asleep. I went over to her. I looked at her like, so could this be due to Velocity X? So she took it in episode 2 to use the Speed Force to run away from Flash, or basically try to stop him. Could that be something to do with it? I don't know, but all of a sudden now Caitlin and Frost are now separate. They are now two separate people. They are not together as one. I'm not sure what is happening with that. I don't know. Is this hinting at a possible thing to where we're going to lose Caitlin altogether and it's just going to be Frost, or Frost is going to be sticking around and Caitlin's... I don't know. Did I say the same thing backwards like that? Okay. What I meant to say was, are we going to lose Caitlin and keep Frost, or are we going to lose Frost and keep Caitlin? Or are they going to find a way to merge back together? Because that'd be honestly the best way to go about it. Because I don't want to lose either of them. I want to keep them as one. So I'm just curious how the hell they separated. I want to know what that means. I don't know. But overall, in terms of a Season 7 premiere, pretty decent stuff here. Especially with the Abracadabra personal story there. Because at first I'm like, okay, he's just back doing his stuff again. But okay, this is really personal why he's doing this. And now we have our first introduction of what I'm assuming is the Strength Force, and we still are waiting around for the rest of the forces to potentially show up and cause mayhem or something. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But so far, intriguing. Let's see what they do. So, what you guys think of tonight's episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have about this episode, let me know in the comments below, guys. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.